Moosonee is not a reservist on Crown land. I was attending a day school already, a separate school. It was Bishop Bello separate school. And I always wondered why he took me out of that school and put me in this residential school.
So you were plucked from your parents?
Yeah.
So they weren't anywhere near you then?
No. We spent the whole year up there. Christmas we came home for a bit, then we went back.
What was the relationship like with your parents, and how did they feel watching you go and only come home at Christmas?
You know, it was sort of the norm for us to go because they had their own experience also, my brother also. And as you know, my great-grandmother, Margaret Wabano, is the oldest living residential school survivor. So I was the third generation coming into these schools. So it was taken for granted that you would go. But I kind of wondered why I was plucked out of that school and placed in this school.
So we basically told that your culture was not important and you needed to learn white culture,
exactly.
Per se?
Yeah, because I never had experience with my own culture growing up. Like I said, I'm the third generation. It was already really diminished by then. And it was totally, almost, brand new to me. Experience I started a few years back as part of my healing journey. Experiencing what it's all about, what a powwow means, the significance, the symbolism behind it, and the ceremonies that
You're stripped of all that.
Exactly, yeah. And I can't say I'm relearning it because I never learned it to begin with. So it's totally brand new.
Was there psychological or physical abuse in schools to you personally?
There was a lot of emotional abuse, yeah. And I remember spending nights crying myself to sleep. What am I doing here? Why was I placed here? Why did my parents let me go here?
And your parents had no recourse. They could do nothing.
No, either that or, at that time, they used to go to jail. That's the extreme of it anyway.
So what were you told the point of all of it was? I guess at that age you couldn't really understand anyway.
No, nobody explained anything to me. No, like I said, I was just plucked, placed in school. That was my life for that 2 years I was there.
It's like, okay, and after that 2 years is up, what happened after that?
Actually, the way I got out of there, I was suffering from a physical ailment on my leg, and they placed me in a hospital in Port Albany. That's how they transferred me back to my home community from there, hospital to hospital. So that's how I got out of there. Unfortunately, my siblings were kept in the school until the end of their term. I was near the end of when the English-speaking teachers stepped in there, what era. My brother experienced the priest and the brothers and the nuns. I was after that, so it wasn't really, I didn't really see that much abuse within the school myself. But like I said, I'm third generation. When I went home, it was right in our family. So I was able to make that distinction then.
What has the healing journey been for you? Where did you start, and where do you want it to go to?
As a survivor, I never knew what I had to heal from. I've always heard the stories, you gotta heal, right? You gotta heal from your experience, and I never knew what it was all about. So for a majority of my life, up to now, I spent a lot of time walking around in a daze, I guess, not knowing what it was. And because my community was 80–90% of our communities were survivors, and the coping mechanisms that they used, we kind of normalized that in our life. The addictions that were so rampant there, it was helping our generation before me cope with what they went through. Like I said, they were more extreme than my experience was.
So, and how old were you when you got to? Did you go back to I don't know if it was even regular school when you got out of it?
It was a day school, separate school, but like I saw a lot of abuse in that school myself compared to the residential. My residential experience coming into this day school is where I saw abuse. It was run by the Sisters of Service at that time. Catholicism was something that they really pressed into us and forced into us. It was within that day school where I saw a lot of physical abuse. Not ironically, not in my residential experience.
So high school up there too?
Yeah, I did all my schooling up there.
So at what point do you say, I have to, you don't let go of the past, but you forgive it and you move forward?
What did it for me was my education. Like once I graduated from high school, I came out to school here at Canada, and I got into Peter Bocash's course, Indigenous Wellness. That to me was a lot of personal experience, personal growth for me. And the first time it gave me a glimpse of what being Aboriginal was all about. You know, untainted Aboriginal, I guess you could say, like that, like to a degree. But that was my experience with, like I always maintain, you know, education and healing go hand in hand. You know, it's brought me this far. It's going to take me much further.